Well, I'll say this, Coach. If Ken Hughes could pull off that trade, he should become executive of the year. Like I think that would be an
But
absolute
anyway, I'll put my name if
deal.
ever they make that trade.
Yeah, yeah. I will be the first on here singing your praises if that's the case. Like I just don't see that this like I view Anaheim very similarly to Montreal. They want help right now, right? Hage is not going to do that. Arguably, like they like I already mentioned, they have Brett Seneca and they have McQueen that they just drafted, who I think both of them are going to be better than Michael Hage. So I'm not sure why they would really that be interested in Michael Hage. Newhook, I don't see if what he brings to their lineup right now that they don't already have or that would be useful to them, especially knowing the type of team that Verbeek likes. Like to me, if I'm here are the players that I think I don't know this for a fact, guys, but just from what I know about Pat Verbeek, here are the players that I think he would list that he would want from Montreal. Jackeye. He would want Jackeye, like he would be interested in Jackeye just because of the way he plays. Gooley. He'll be interested in Caden Gooley. Slavkovsky because of the size and because of he might be interested in Kirby Doc because of the size, because of he's a Western Canadian guy, all that, right? So I kept saying Brett Seneca, but you're right, it's Beckett Seneca. Sorry about that. These players, coach, I don't think they're the style of player that Pat Verbeek would be interested in targeting. Not just because, first of all, they're not the style that he likes, but I don't think it fits their needs particularly well at all compared to. I think they have better players in, like you said, like I buy again. It's not. I don't think it's impossible that he thinks that Mason McTavish is expendable because again, their pipeline is so deep, coach. Like I said, they have so many good players. But if they are going to trade him, they want somebody that's going to have an impact right away. And the only 3 or 4 players that I see that they would be interested in acquiring are the ones I mentioned because it fits their makeup. Jackeye, Doc, Slavkovsky, Gooley. Those I think would be the guys that Pat Verbeek would probably want to get. Would you be willing to trade any of those guys? We obviously don't view McTavish the same way. Here's an interesting coach. I'm curious what you think about this. If you like the style that Mason McTavish is, so if we agree, coach, that we like that style of player, a much more inexpensive version of him that is kind of in the same age bracket is Barrett Hayden from the Utah Mammoth. Yeah, yeah. We've talked about him before, coach, on the show. Barrett Hayden, left shot center, drafted the same year as KK, right? Just after him, actually. That to me is like an under the radar. I've been talking about him for months now. His faceoff percentage is very good. Utah is another team, coach, that is very deep. Are they going to have room for him? So that's definitely a player that I would target. And that might be a little less expensive than Mason McTavish. I could definitely see him being a great fit. Would you have Barrett Hayden with Demidov and Line or or Budzik or whoever else? I think that would be an interesting fit. He's like 20, 25 years old, probably like a 50-point guy, 55-point guy. I think that could be a good option, in the somebody that could really grow in. And eventually, if you feel that you want to upgrade that second line center later in the future, he would make a great third line center when Montreal really gets that level. A2 doesn't think he's getting traded. Like, yeah, there's not a lot of second line centers being traded in the NHL, guys. So it's tough. It's very tough. But for those of you who think we can just wait internally, you're going to be waiting a while. And like I said from the top of the show, people don't like me comparing it to the Toronto Maple Leafs, but a competitive window, it goes by fast. You guys were saying, well, hey, the big mistake that the Toronto Maple Leafs made is they focused too much up front. They didn't build their defense. Well, the Montreal Canadiens have built an amazing defense, but we're lacking major depth down the center. Coach, like this, I think this is the theme of the show today, Coach. Like the big takeaway from the show is we have a lot to be excited about and to be hopeful for. but you can't wait too long either, because time goes by quick and the window closes quicker than you might want.